to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, to say a few words. But wait.
You're not going to introduce me and all that.
Yes.
I think let's fast forward that.
I know.
Fast forward करने
I know कि महेश भट्ट जी को कोई भी इंट्रोडक्शन की जरूरत नहीं है, पर थोड़ा सा फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए.
It's unavoidable.
Okay.
Fast forward.
Okay then. So I would like to invite Mr. Mahesh Bhatt to say a few words and give blessings to Mr. Vinod Pandey for his new journey.
It is so refreshing to hear the author, my friend, once my rival. We began our journey almost at the same time. He had made Ek Baar Phir, and then he was making Ye Nazdiki and I was making Arth. He was the biscuit from London, and I was the nipped in the bud young Zafar the Terrible, who was jumped into the dustbin of history till somehow I managed to survive the fire that they had already arranged for me, the industry. The industry is too keen to write people's obituary. And somehow I survived that. I made Arth. So we were, in a way, rivals. And there's another person, a memory that holds us together, is an extraordinary human being called Jay Dixit, who was my professor in St. Xavier's and Vinodji's writer. So we, in a way, have been strangely stitched together. So when Amit Khanna, my friend, came to me and said that there's a book launch and Vinod wants you to come, I said, of course, it is his right that I should be here on the platform.
Intervention. You see, one has to go back. Nostalgia is very important in life. Dikshit ji and I saw Earth at the Dimple Theatre. Trial finished at about 3:30 or something like that. Bhook lagi mujhe badi zor ki. And we are coming down Pali Hill. चले यार लंच का वक्त हो गया, जाना चाहिए नहीं जाना चाहिए, ये बात लगने लगी. मैं I could not hold myself. चलो. और महेश जी, I would like to revert back to Mahesh now. दरवाजा की घंटी बजाई, मेड थी, उन्होंने दरवाजा खोला और मैं अंदर घुस गया. महेश बालकनी के नज़दीक ज़मीन पर बैठे हुए अखबार पढ़ रहे थे something. And my first words were, I am angry with you, I am jealous of you. How dare you make such a beautiful film? Is that right or not? In the evening, we met each other again at Shavanaji's place. And my God, he was so angry with me. You come into my house, you tell me this, I won't do this. How you have to be, you know, he was very, very complimentary, very warm about this. That I was so honest about it.
Okay, so I've got two mics now. So the point is that that when he asked me to come, and I think it was really important that I wholeheartedly embrace this invitation. So thank you for this honor. And there's something you said there, that this writing has become your refuge. I think this is the most truthful confession that you have made, because they say writers write either with an overflowing heart or from a heartbreak. When your heart is broken, you write, or when you are overflowing with some kind of an unexplainable experience of life which has invaded every pore of your being, which seeks expression. And I think most of the books that are there on the shelves, adorning the shelves, were written by people who use writing as a refuge. Because most of the time human beings write to escape from the unexplainable mystery of life and the certainty of death, which is staring at all of us. So the written word is man's last combat against insignificance. We all know that we are transient creatures, that we flash through the skies of life, the dark skies of life, light it up for some time, depending on the power that we have in our DNA. But ultimately, we fade out and leave the memories that you once existed. And writers leave their footprints on the sands of time. So this is our last desperate attempt to stay relevant. We, all of us fight transience because we know that the culture chews us and spits us on the sidewalk and asks for more. But I think that's what makes us so unique. I say us because I'm also a writer who writes, has used the written word as my tool of communication, because I know the bandwidth of the Hindi cinema or television doesn't give you that privilege to express some very subversive, very complex views which you can do with the written word. So I think you will find your romance with writing has just begun, and I think it will, the way you have embraced it, I'm certain that you will delve into spaces which you perhaps never knew existed within you. And that's where the storytellers actually take a leap. And I'm certain that you're on a threshold of something unique. I see Ek Baar Phir of Vinod Pandey, a new Vinod Pandey emerging from what you think is the dead end, because what you see as a dead end is in fact nothing but a new beginning. And I come to applaud you and say that you're a brave man to make this new beginning, because you are the master of this journey, with no financier, no distributor, no star to breathe over your shoulder and to dictate to you what should be the next word you should punch into your computer. It's you and you alone who are going to be the person who's going to decide that. And I think this is perhaps the greatest phase of your life where you are really tasting absolute and total freedom. But we have to be very, very grateful to people, our publishers, who in this age and time, when they, when everything is being reduced to 140 characters of Twitter, and the attention deficit disorder is a reality, where we have entered the digital age, and where you still find these kind of marvelous bookshops. I think it's very brave of the publishers to make huge investments in storytellers. And it's a relationship which has always been a complex one. I hope you both make this marriage work for a very long time. And from your smile, I'm certain this is going to work for a very long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You have overwhelmed me, my friend. And we had another common friend, Bhatt.
Oh, yes.
Ah, there isn't a dull moment when Bhatt Saab is around. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I request Mr. Joy Sen Gupta to perform a dramatic reading from the portions of the book Saanvri, the story of concubine. Let me share Mr. Sen Gupta's profile with you first. Mr. Joy Sen Gupta is an acclaimed television, film and theatre actor. He has been trained under the legendary theatre director Ibrahim El Ghazi and has worked with stalwarts like Habib Tanveer, Safdar Hashmi, Barry John and Govind Nilani. He also has been a voice artist for actor Chris Ryan in the movie Captain America and the Avengers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joy Sen Gupta with the portions of book.
Thank you. Vinodji, would you like to introduce the portion, or do you want me to straight away get into that? Okay. You want to? No? Okay. Okay, so this is a mid-section from a particular chapter, so it's up to your imagination. Having noticed him enter the water, she became even more daring and retreated deeper into the sea. Realizing the danger in her romp, Rana dived after her and grabbed her from the waist. He pulled her out of the water with a steely grip and thrust her towards the shore. Once in knee-deep water, he covered her as much as possible with a scarf which he had quickly slung around his trunk in a knot before diving after her. With her arms still in Rana's grip, as they walked towards the shack, she suddenly stopped and beckoned with a winsome smile on her lips and a wistful glint in her eyes. Hey ji Rana ji, stop for a moment, please. There was an intense quiver in her voice. Rana also stopped, and while trying to figure out the expression in her eyes, he teased, "What happened? Manna chahti hai? You want to die?" Hi. She let out a deep sigh and then mewed romantically like a young girl in love. Absolutely. I sure feel like that. Rana turned away from her, bursting into an uncontrollable laughter. She persisted. "Just turn your face this way, Ranaji." She had a dreamy somberness in her eyes. Rana obliged and stared at her searchingly. After a moment's gaze in his eyes, she held his face in her hands and claimed his lips. It was a wholesome kiss, deeper into the mouth, ripe with feelings. As she withdrew slowly, her voice quivered with emotion, saying, "You have changed me completely, Ranaji." A sudden wistfulness returned to her eyes as she continued, "I never drank before."
For the book launch, Saanvri, what do you want to say?
When a filmmaker makes a transition from the world of images and sound to the written word, it's a moment to celebrate because what he actually clamors for is more freedom to express his deepest thoughts, which he perhaps cannot find in the space of cinema that exists in the time that we live in. I see Vinod making a new beginning. This man who hit the headlines years back with Ek Baar Phir is making another beginning. This is the Ek Baar Phir journey of the writer who's going to use words and climb to unimaginable heights. So I've come here to congratulate him and applaud him and seek inspiration from him to go on and on and on till we burn out.
Sir, today is the first day movie release DSND. What kind of response is getting from the fans of Bollywood?
Well, I do not know what kind of response it's getting, but I saw the film yesterday and I was staggered by Gauri's work. I was awestruck by Alia and Shah Rukh. I have never seen him on the screen the way he has emerged in this particular film. It's an out-of-the-box film. It's a very brave film. It's a film that makes Indian cinema proud. It's a new turn into a zone which is going to bring many surprises. Many new filmmakers will now speak this kind of a language.
Sir, recently Ranveer Singh promoted Jack and John's brand, Jack and John jeans, in a sexiest way. Is necessary to go out of the way to.
Music शुरू हो गई है.
Sir, please, sir, what is your take on that? Is it necessary to do these kinds of sexiest way to promote a brand of jeans? Necessary?
Well, I have no reason to put any Lakshman Rekha on anybody's way of living life or doing things or thinking. But if your society has laid down certain rules and norms, then people in my industry are well advised to stay within the space that is allocated. Otherwise, you'll have to face the music of the forces that control our lives these days.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
क्या इस बुक की जो स्टोरी है आपकी फिल्म में देखने मिलेगा हमें?
देखिए जब वो सीन्स पढ़े जा रहे थे तो मुझे लगा कि मैं पूजा भट्ट से बात करूं कि जिस्म 3 जो है उसकी कहानी यहाँ से ली जाए.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.